Yo, it's definitely Cloud Chaser TV, man. We back up in this thing again. You dig? Hey, man, we got a very special guest, man. A legend, man. OG, from Athens Park. Can you introduce yourself?
My government name is Christopher Hawthorne. I go by Kre Kre from Athens Park, and some know me as Cali Kre, which is short for California Kre.
Got you, man. Man, we appreciate you blessing our platform today, man. Giving us your story, man. We know that you got a book that just came out, Piru Love too, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll get into that in just a moment, man. But take us back, man. I know coming up at this part, some of us heard the story, but a lot of us haven't. When it come down to the 1980s, like what was it like in the 80s?
Well, I mean, the early '80s was, premature hip hop, breakdancing, pop lock and graffiti, DJing, all that until '86 when the crack influxed the neighborhoods. Then everything shifted. Everybody wanted to get a piece of the pie. Everybody wanted to sell crack, get money.
No, no doubt. So in the 80s, what's with the Athens Park, I know that your book is called Piru Love. So was it any Pirus in Athens Park during this time?
Right. Our hood back in the day was not really split up in two, but we had another. We had a generation of Pyrus came up and on one side of our neighborhood, which was known as the Rolling 130 Pyrus, which is a subsidiary to the West Side Pyrus. And early on, like my stepbrother, they were all Pyrus. However, when we came up about '85, we all converted. We all was on one page, and it was Athens Park.
Got you. No doubt. So like when it's like during this time, we hear the stories, because it definitely changed a little bit in the 2000s. We'll get there, but like far as blood love, like one blood, like everybody who was blood, they was pretty much it was one solid thing, no matter what hood you was from.
Right, right. Back in the '80s, because we was outnumbered. For every one blood, there was probably like 6 or 7 Crips. So it didn't matter what hood you was from. Shit, you was a blood, a Pyru. I mean, it wasn't no. Now they kind of separate a little bit because they be like, well, I ain't the blood, I'm a Pyru, or I'm a this that. All that, everything that was on the red team was together. We was homies. It was one blood, blood love, and we was the underdogs. We was outnumbered. But however, over the years, homies done got deep. So now they done got deep. They done started all that division and separation.
Got you. And y'all didn't see any of that separation. None of that separation came out in the 80s. Like you couldn't see that going,
Hell
moving
no,
forward.
no sir. I'm talking. I could go to any hood, shoot dice, win some money in dice game. I got to worry about my head getting blown off. Now, you win $100 in somebody's hood, they plotting to kill your ass.
Right. Yeah.
That's a damn shame.
Yeah, man. You
Right.
right about that. So you first get incarcerated, you first go into prison, you went to prison in the 80s, right? The early 80s? Or was it the
Well,
late
I
80s?
went to I went to fire camp. I was still a juvenile in the early '80s fighting fires. I ended up going to federal prison like 19 months later as an adult for distribution of crack cocaine. What they call is a crack law, which is when you get caught with whatever you get caught with, it was 100 times greater. So if I got caught with one key, it was it was equivalent to 100 keys.
Hmm.
That was the law that they had out. So that was putting a lot of brothers in jail. So and if you had two, what was it, 2 ounces, 50 grams of crack, it triggered a mandatory minimum of 10 years automatically.
Hmm. Wow.
And that's how a lot of people got caught up, and they started doing sweeps, from one end of the map to the other, and they would just fill the prisons up. So I went at a young age. I went in 1990. I was 19. I didn't get out until I was 37. I did 17 years and 10 months in federal prison.
Yeah. And I know you before you went in, to get you there, you was talking about I seen on the interview you was talking about the crack epidemic and basically when you came home, now crack is at full force,
Right.
and you wanted to make some money and hop in and shit when you first hop in, do you see a major influx of money? Like you start to make a lot of money?
Well, okay, when crack first hit, it hit hard anyway. It just hit hard. Okay, but we wasn't really taking it serious. I went to jail. I went to fire camp and came back, and then everybody was kind of like, they was reaping the benefits from it, for selling drugs. So I was like, okay, well, I did it before, but everybody was hitting OT because it was double the money. You get
Mm-hmm.
more for your money, it's more bang for your buck. So yeah, so when I got out, I took it a little bit more serious. So I was like, I got into the dope game a little bit more, just more focused on it, more serious about it.
No, no doubt, no doubt. So yeah, so now now they got these crack laws coming about. Did you know anything about these crack laws that they was putting in place?
No, they slid that crack law in '88. They passed the law in 1988, the mandatory minimum, and I don't know if they started, like using it. I had a few friends that got caught in Oklahoma, and they was telling me about it. They used to always just say, "Don't have it hard, keep it soft. Keep the dope soft, keep it soft. You don't want it cooked up." Like, man, anybody walk around with no soft dope. We want this shit hard, ready hard. You know what I'm saying? Don't have it in a cook form. So but he was trying to tell us about the crack law. We was like, man, we ain't trying to hear that. You know when you out there on the streets, you feel like you're invincible. So you don't think it can happen to you. So we're like, man, we ain't trying to hear that shit. 2 years later, bam, bust our heads open.
Wow, gotcha.
Yeah,
So now you
yeah.
go to federal. Now you in federal prison, man. Like like when you first get there, like what was you thinking?
when I when I first went to federal prison, I had a boatload of time, so I was still young and I was gang banging. So I went in gang banging. You know what I'm saying? I went in gang banging. It wasn't that many Bloods. It was a lot of Crips. My first spot was Inglewood, Colorado, and Inglewood, Colorado is more like it's a youth federal act. They put like youngsters in there from 18 to 25. So that was my first spot, and I just had a gang of time, man. I didn't care. I didn't, I was just wilding out, man. Staying here, getting kicked out of one prison, going, man, I done been in so many prisons and so many institutions. Back in the day, they didn't have that many federal prisons as they do now. But I was getting ping pong and shuffled back and forth to a lot of federal prisons.
Mm-hmm. And I heard you talk about like some of the activities they had back then in federal prisons. Like when you first got in there, that they took out like you was able to play golf and
Yeah, you was able to
y'all was having
play.
parties and stuff. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, they had when I got there, they had video games. They had all the cable shit. They had vending machines. They had money. Used to have quarters, rolls of quarters. They had putt golf, so you walk around with golf clubs. uh, they had what else they had? Oh, you could get packages, so you could get different clothes sent in. Not the stuff they sold the commissary. Like you could get some stuff sent in, like robes, house shoes,
Yeah.
and you wear colors. Back then, they would let you wear red and blue. It was. You have keyboards back then, so it made the time. It made the time way easier. But then when they started implementing that crack law, when they started blocking people for that crack law, they started bringing a lot of young blacks in, and it kind of shifted the system, man. The system shifted because it was a lot of dudes. You got to think, D.C., Baltimore, New York, Houston. They was locking up all the youth from all these different cities:
Yeah.
Detroit, L.A., San Diego, Oakland. So it was never youngsters coming to jail for crack. A lot of people come to jail. You go to jail, man, there's a yard full of young people in there.
Hmm. Yeah. Wow. So like so now you got like so now you in prison. You in prison and I know you came across a few different people. I know you came across Freeway Rick Ross.
Freeway Rick, Ray Browning out of Pasadena, Doc Holliday out of Pasadena, John Gotti, uh, Noah Roberts, which is Noah Roberts is Jesse Jackson's brother
Mm.
out of Chicago. They like to,
I
they had
know you.
El Rookers.
Yeah.
They had Rookers. They had and then Jeff Ford, Big Jeff Ford, and his son. I was locked up with his son, the Prince, and
Who
Big
Prince
Ford and
walked
Little
either?
Ford.
Oh, Lil Ford.
Yeah, Little Fort. Yeah, he passed away. Little Fort.
Yeah,
I was in Wisconsin with him, and I was locked up with his daddy in Marion, Illinois.
got you. What type of relationship did like was it a issue? You know, you been from Chicago. I mean, you been from California, and they been from Chicago, or any of them
No, no,
guys?
no. We know, we both on the red team, so it was all good.
I got you. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? We all on the red team. Soon I got there, they made sure I was straight.
Oh, that's what's up.
You
That's
know,
what's up.
commissary, weapons, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
as soon as I hit the yard, what's up, blood? You straight? I said, yeah, I need a few things, and then whatever I asked, they gave it to me. They gave it to me, and I was invited to all their picnics and all they little dealings that they had,
Mm-hmm.
their services and the religion, all that. It was
Yeah.
love, man.
Juma.
Say it again.
Juma.
Yeah, Juma, exactly.
Yeah.
Juma and Kwanzaa and all that type of stuff. So yeah, but no, I was in Oxford, Wisconsin with Little Fort, and there's a lot of Chicago people there, in Wisconsin.
No, no doubt, no doubt. So
Mm-hmm.
like I know like you said that John Gotti, like when you in prison with John Gotti when he had that incident when they said that he had got beat up of some sort.
Right. Yeah, I came right after that. Right after that.
Did he talk about it alone in the yard or anything
Yeah,
like that?
he took once we got to kicking it, he told me what happened. He was like, man, he let it get his 15 minutes fame. It wasn't nothing because it was, it was more or less an issue of because Marion is all bars. There's no doors. So and then they have pull up bars in front of certain people's cells in a dip bar. So
Mm-hmm.
if I want to come and work out, I probably had to do some pull ups right in front of your cell. So in order for you to not see me, you put a blanket up, but you still can hear me. So and then he asked. I guess he said something about the noise, and then they do said something, but then he came off. They unracked his door to do something, and the dude attacked him or something like that. But he told me about it, but you know, it wasn't no big deal. He didn't. It wasn't. He didn't sweat it.
Got you. And I know you spoke on it before, but just the people who don't know, some people they had some type of way they thought that John Gotti was racist against like black people. So like y'all living in that basically the same house because I remember you said it was what 13 people pretty much in 13
Right.
cells.
It was only the tier can only hold 17 cells, and I think on our tier only had 13 up top and like 12 bottom. So it was like 25 people in the whole unit itself. So I mean, the unit we was in was all blacks. It
Mm-hmm.
was all black and Mexican. So I mean, he wasn't trying to get over there where the white boys at. He was trying to stay clear away from them. So I mean, he, I mean, we talked every day. So I mean,
Yeah,
we went to rec every day. We kicked it every day. I mean, I don't know what he did to pass, but I know when we was there, he was respectful, and we chopped it up every day like men. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know his background, what he did to some blacks, or how he don't like whatever. I don't know the New York politics or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I know when we was dealing with each other, it was all respect.
got got you. So like just like doing doing federal prison. So at this time it wasn't that many of them, correct? It
Right.
wasn't
What
that
that many
many of them.
institutions.
So like how violent was it? Like all of them was pretty violent since they got to house all the.
Yeah, I mean, you had back then. You had Long Poke Prison. You had Lewisburg, Terre Haute, Leavenworth, and Atlanta, and then you had about one more, but they didn't have that many A USP stands for United States Penitentiary. That's the that's the high level. Marion and Florence ADX is the max. That's the max. That's where you locked up 21 hours. 21 hours. You locked up 21 hours a day and 3 hours a rec. But that's for when you got to really be a bad actor to get to that level. You know what I'm saying? So once you get to Marion and ADX, that's the maximum security. You know what I'm saying? So you go underneath that is the USP. This is the prisons. Then you had the FCI, which is a federal correctional institution, and then you had the FPC, the federal prison camp, which is a low level. So yeah, I mean, I started off in a medium and was stuck. Went all the way up to 21-hour lockdown. I went to the Marion, and I was kind of like able to lock down, but I stayed in the USP. I never went back down to a medium level. I was just stuck in the twilight zone.
Gotcha.
Just stuck.
So like when it comes to your book, you got the first book, Piru Love. One, did you write that in prison or?
Yes, I wrote Piru Love in prison after reading. Are you familiar with Triple Crown Productions?
Yes. Triple Crown. Yeah, the
publications. Yeah, the chick out of Ohio somewhere, but she had a lot of content through Triple Crown, and that those books was flooded in the federal institutions. She sold a lot of books in prison. People was reading those. I mean, they were good stories. You know, a lot of drug stories, a lot of hood stories. And after a while, they became, it became repetitive. You know what I mean? So I told my cellie, I said, man, I'm gonna write my own story, man. And these stories are cool. Don't get me wrong, but I think I got an interesting story too. He was like, man, get with it. So I started getting with it in 06. I wrote my first book called The Almighty Dollar, Athens Park. That was the name of it. And I wrote it, and I wrote it until I got released. I got released in 08. But when I got out in 08, I threw the book in the closet. I was like, to hell with that book. I'm back on the streets. Fuck that book. You know what I'm saying? So I got back on the streets, and I got locked back up for a violation. So when I got back in there, I said, man, let me get back on my book. That's probably what happened. I got locked up playing with that damn book. So I wrote Piru Love because when I was in jail, one of my tight homeboys, his name was Hot Dog from Westside Piru. He got killed in my neighborhood, man. And we grew up as kids. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of dedicate that book to him and another one of my homeboys named Kango from Westside Piru. You know, they both passed while I was incarcerated. I've been knowing them since we was kids. So that's what kind of started me to write the book, thinking about them. So it was like a dedication to them. So yeah, I wrote Piru Love Part 1, and I had another book called the FBOP where I was writing 2 books at the same time. When I get a mental block in one book, I would go to the other one and start writing. So I wrote 2 books in 1 year. And when I was like, I'm gonna be more serious about it. So I was just, getting the copywritten, doing everything I needed to do to get it. When I get out, I can, it'll be an easy process of getting it published. So, I did it, and I put it out. Me and my girlfriend, she helped me put it out, and it was doing good. I mean, it was cool. I had to do a lot of work. It's selling more now than it is ever. You know what I'm saying? It's selling way more now. Everybody. I had to build up the momentum. I just built up a word of mouth. More people on the East Coast buy my books than anybody. More women on the East Coast buy it than anybody.
Yeah, somebody in here just said it was a male, Corey Turner. He said that he got both of your books and you autographed them.
Yeah, that's one of my partners, man. He a lot of my Facebook and Instagram fans support my book, man. A lot of them, a lot of East Coast, Ohio, New York. Shouts out to all my readers out there, man. Texas, all of them, they support it, man. And it's doing way better. I mean, it's doing way better than I put it out in 2012, but it's doing way better now. And then I end up going to jail for some goofy shit, and I was just sitting in jail. So the police, I don't know how many police got to an argument or something, but he Googled me. I think I told him to Google me something. I was being something smart ass, but he said, yeah, you're Arthur. So he's like, I was reading the reviews, man. Why don't you write part 2 to that book, man? He said, I don't read that shit, but I'm reading the reviews. They seem like they're pretty good. So he helped me write my book. He was giving me paper and pencils every day. So I wrote part 2 while I was in the county jail. I wrote part 2 in 62 days.
Oh, that's dope. 62 days?
62 days. 62 days. I wrote Piru Love Part 2, right? And I got one more. I'm going to write Part 3, the trilogy, when I get enough time. I'll be in my truck a lot. I'll be driving a lot, so I don't really have time. You kind of got to sit this. I got to sit in a certain area when I'm writing books. I got to sit at a certain place in the house. It's just some rituals I do, but I can't do it in this truck. I can't do shit in this truck but drive. Drive and sleep.
I got you. So when did you I know that that's a part of your history too as well, man. You talk about truck driving and how it helped you, especially coming home and being able to make a nice amount of money legal. So like when it's the other guys coming home and they in tune and they trying to find a job. I know that you said something about that you can possibly help them get truck driving jobs.
Yeah, I helped a lot of dudes, man, especially coming out of prison. I mean, this is my thing. If you ain't doing nothing, you don't have nothing going for yourself, uh, and you trying to do something for yourself, you know what I'm saying? I mean, damn, you should at least. I tell dudes to follow the same route I did. You know, I went through CR England trucking school. It's free. You know, you ain't got to pay for nothing. They're gonna teach you everything, how to drive. Only thing they want you to do in the end is drive for them for a
Right.
year. I mean, I don't think that's a bad deal. They gonna teach you everything, put you in a hotel, feed you, uh, put you on the road, and you still gonna make money while you pay them back. You still making money. So I thought about it. And I said, man, that's a win-win situation for me. I'm supposed to jump on it, you know. And I didn't have to drive for about 9 months, and then I started exploring the other companies, and then started learning more, and you know how the pay system works and all that. So you know, there's a lot of trucking companies out here. I would advise anybody, especially getting out of prison, don't have nothing, they want to work, jump into this truck driving, man. It's out here for you. You got to worry about your boss. They ain't worry about your record. You could be a felon and all that shit, man. Especially for a motherfucker that got felons. I mean, you need to jump in the truck, man. Do
Right.
something. And it's a free vacation. I'm in Iowa right now. I done been to, in a week, I done been to Boston, Massachusetts. I done been to Michigan. I just came from Chicago last night. Uh, what was that? Alabama. All these places in 1 week.
See, yeah, and you know, and that's a lot of people don't even get outside of their neighborhood. You know.
Man, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell these dudes, man. You know, but I mean, I got 2 beds. I got 2 beds in here, 32-inch TV, Wi-Fi, crock pot, microwave. All I need is some coochie. You know, a female rolled in. You know what I'm saying? So,
Word.
you know, every now and then I put one in, but I be on the road too long for them. They be like, you be out here more than 30 days. I be like,
Right.
30, 40 days, 50 days. You know,
Nah,
so.
I understand that. So like I know I had Gunna. You familiar with Gunna, the female Gunna from your neighborhood? I had
Yeah,
her
yeah,
up on
yeah.
the
My little
podcast.
homie from the phone.
Yeah, she good people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had her up here on the podcast and stuff, man. Shout out Gunna. Hey, shout out Brazy K at the Wrong Kind Podcast, man. Y'all go sub up them on YouTube, man. If y'all don't know, we working together at Wrong Kind East Podcast.
For sure.
Y'all definitely go follow them up, man, right now. And so like also Bone. So what was your
Mm-hmm.
did you have a relationship with Bone?
Yeah, that's my big homie.
Okay. You got any stories you can give us like that you can remember? Like you know, I know you got lots of them, but
no, they all too bad, man.
they yeah. Yeah.
I mean, just growing up, my homie was, he's the big homie. So I mean, back then you deal with we dealt with the homies different than they do with us now. You know what I'm saying? I looked up to the big homies. We respected the big homies. And they, not it ain't like now. These niggas now trying to knock the big homies out. They trying to knock your ass out. These young niggas trying to put you to sleep.
Right.
But yeah, other than that, I got some stories, but I don't want to share too many of them with the homies. But I mean, it's just, we grew up in the same neighborhood. He was always giving us good advice, and then, we was all doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? We always, acknowledge each other in the streets. So that was it.
Dope, man, dope. So like what can they pick up your book, man? And like exactly what they gonna be reading from it. Is it strictly on like Piru love? Like is it like what like give me like the concept of it for the people.
Well, what it is basically it's a child. He was born out of his mother was turning a trick, and he was born from a like a horse son, and so he's trying to get attention from his mother, and his mother keep pushing him away. So the same attention that he's trying to get from his mother, he gets it from the gang. The homies in the streets kind of give him that attention that his mother wants, but he wants attention from his mother. Cause he loves his mother, and she's steady because she's from Piru too. She gang bang, so she's pushing him away. And he ended up being out of all her children, she had 2 twin females and 2 sons. And out of all her kids, he become the one. He become that one on the banging tip and on the more successful tip because he ended up becoming a little famous, not famous, but he becomes successful, you know, in book 2. So yeah, it's based on a true story. Names been switched around, you know, and it's based out the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the book takes place on 129th in between Avalon and San Pedro. So you know, when a lot of people read it, you know, it takes them back. You know, it's a good story. Yeah, it's true, and it's half of it's true, half of it's fabricated. You know, you got to mix it up. But overall, when people my age read it, they kind of know what's up. They know they're like, oh, okay. You know,
Yeah.
youngsters under me, but people my age, when they read, they already know.
Oh, dope.
For sure. But I'm gonna put the part 3 out the trilogy, and it's gonna be. I mean, if you read the book, so part 1 is basically Solomon, the youngster, and then part 2 is his kids, and then part 3 is gonna be his kids on the when they're grown up. So it's
Mm.
gonna be pretty interesting. And
So it's like
I'm a
it's
rap.
this generation.
Yes, it's this generation, right? How they do things in this generation. So part 3 is after that's gonna be a wrap. I got 5 other books that I wrote. I'm gonna put out.
Dope,
But
man. Dope.
right now I'm working on a film. It's called Worldwide Whooping, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically is how it's showing the blood culture outside of California. There's no California bloods in this documentary, right? So far I've been filming in Philadelphia and Alabama. So it's basically gonna give you an insight on places that people don't think where gangs are at. They are. You know, I'm talking all the way from Laos, Africa, Philly, what was that? Kissimmee, Florida, Lima, Ohio. So be on the lookout for Worldwide Whooping
Worldwide.
by Kre Kre. Yeah, Cali Kre Publications presents Worldwide Whooping.
Got you. So, and where can they follow you at? Like, on what's your IG information, or where they can get the book? Like, is it on Amazon or
Oh, okay. My bad. Yeah, you can find Pyro Love Part 1 and 2 on Amazon Books. Also, Cali Kre Publications on my internet. Then you can hit me up, Cash App. You can get an autograph. I keep books in my truck, so whenever I'm in your town, hit me up. A lot of people got my phone number. I get calls every day.
Mhm.
uh, my Instagram is Cali KALI_KRE, which is Cali Kre. My Facebook is the same, Cali Kre. You see the red logo, the red K logo. So yeah, follow me them two platforms, and you can find the book on Amazon for sure.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you blessing our platform, man. Again, man, I definitely want to probably touch back bases with you on a different interview when you do the part 3. Um,
Right.
just to keep the relationship going, because I'm media, and shit, you're an author, and that's definitely somebody I want to put on my platform. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it, man. Much love to the Wrong Kind East podcast.
No doubt, man. So we appreciate you, man. Anything you want to leave the people with?
Be on the lookout for my short movie called Joe, Jealous One Envy, be dropping this year.
Okay, and it's a short. It's like a short
It's
a
a
short
short
film.
Yes, a short film starring Mama Boo Boo.
Okay, I seen her interview. That's you talking about Boo Boo, the interview I seen, right? Is
Yeah,
that
that's my little homegirl right there. You
yeah?
know, that's my other half.
Oh, dope. That's gonna be dope, man. I seen the interview y'all had did on Street TV, man. That was dope. So definitely like to
Right,
hear that.
for sure.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man. Salute, man. It's been one.
Hey, man, I'm glad you have me, man. Much respect to y'all, and much respect to the Wrong Kind East podcast.
Salute, fam.
Right on.